Hi everyone, I'm Shaylin here with Reedsy. Today we're going to be talking about character arcs. So a character arc is a term used to refer to a character's change or evolution from the beginning of the story to the end. Basically, just how does the story change them? A character arc typically refers to the internal change within a character's personality, perception, or worldview, not external skills they might gain along the way, although their external skills might guide them towards internal change. Typically, a story's events should be important enough that they change the character in a lasting and meaningful way, even if it is subtle. On occasion, you will see a static character, so a character who doesn't change from the beginning to the end of the story, but it is a rarity. You might see it in something like a detective procedural, where you could read all the books in the series out of order, and it's not really about the character's change, it's more about their static skill set. But in most stories, we do want to see some kind of character arc. So we're going to cover two different types of character arcs in this video, and let's start with a positive character arc. So your character is changing in a positive way. If you're writing a kind of typical hero narrative, this is probably the type of character arc you're going to see. This is where your protagonist overcomes external and internal obstacles in order to become a better person, and this type of change is really illustrated in things like the hero's journey. This type of arc has three basic components. The goal, which is what the character wants, the lie, which is a misconception they have about themselves or the world that prevents them from achieving their goal and their true potential, and three, the truth. This is what they need to learn and acknowledge in order to overcome the lie and change for the better. So, for example, in The Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge undergoes a positive character arc, and I'm using this as an example because it's a pretty drastic one. He starts really awful, and he changes over a pretty short time frame pretty dramatically. His goal is to not meet the same bitter end as his business partner, Marley, a goal that is instilled when Marley comes to him as a ghost. The lie he believes is that a person's value is measured only by their wealth, and the truth that he must face in order to grow is to acknowledge that wealth and riches will not make you happy if you don't surround yourself with people you love or do good for others. This type of arc can apply to really fantastical stories or very realistic ones, really anywhere where your character is changing for the better. They don't have to start in a terrible place. They can start as a relatively good person with a fatal flaw, or just they're a flawed person. We're gonna see some kind of change for the better with this character arc. But not all character arcs are positive, so let's talk about a negative character arc, which I will admit is my favorite kind. I love a character arc where the character just becomes worse. We have the same basic elements, but they work in a different way. So we have the goal, just like with a positive character arc, it's what the character wants, and it's driven in this case by number two, the lie. This is the belief that achieving their goal will bring them a positive outcome. So in order to reach their goal, they willingly or unwillingly embrace that lie, which leads them further and further, in this case, from number three, the truth. The truth here is that their goal is self-destructive, whether it was born from ill intentions or not. But in this case, the character is moving further from the truth rather than closer to it. So for a great example here, let's look at Walter White from Breaking Bad. His goal is to sell enough meth to pay for his cancer treatments and save money for his family. The lie here is that he believes he has the power to avoid corruption, whereas the truth here is that even though he thinks he's on a noble journey, he's actually corrupting his morality more and more as he continually deludes himself that he's doing this for good. This is an interesting case because he's actually aware of the truth at the start. He knows that cooking meth is bad at the beginning, but as he's faced with his mortality, it starts to steer him down this path away from the truth until his view is kind of completely corrupted. And as his morals disintegrate, he kind of becomes more and more vulnerable to his own corruption. So these three components of a character arc are found in countless stories. Look at any story you've written or any book that you love and try to identify these three things: the goal, the truth, and the lie. It's helpful to look at these things in your own writing because character arc should be the result of cause and effect, a push and pull. That's why it's helpful to identify these three components, because they all have a causal connected relationship. This can help you find that push and pull between forces so that the character arc is natural and organic and not kind of just a sudden shift in the middle, which can be a common problem. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to try a little exercise, you can try to identify the goal, the truth, and the lie for the protagonist in whatever you're currently writing, and you can leave them in the comments if you like. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos from us. We've got new writing, editing, and publishing tips every Tuesday and Friday. Until next time.